Hey everybody! So I have two Shimelle videos for you today. This is the sketch we should have been doing last week. It is a sketch that features 3 photos. We're actually going to go ahead and just use 2. I'm going to be using the Pink Paisley Again and Again collection. I have some products here kind of set aside that I want to go ahead and include on my page if I can. And I also have 2 4x6. Well, they're not 4x6. They're 4x6 printed at home with a white border. So that kind of makes them be a little bit smaller. But I'm going to start by choosing a couple of 6x8 papers. And I'm going to start cutting the different strips and things I want to use for this layout. This is one of those sketches and one of those layouts that came together really quickly. And also for reasons I don't even understand. I had the hardest time taking pictures of this layout. I'm not sure what it was, but for whatever reason, the colors I chose and then having a black and white photo, or it just, no matter what I did or how I cropped it or how I photoshopped that picture, the picture of my layout, it just looks funny to me. So I'm probably not going to share it anywhere. But that's okay because this collection is just from my stash. I just wanted to create a pretty pink page, and I kept it really simple. So you can see here, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the white border off. I find if I print without a white border, then I end up with a picture that's too, like, when I print at home anyway, I end up with a picture that is too cropped in and doesn't look right. So I always print with a white border, but then I usually end up cutting it off most of the time. Before you fret, I have another one of these papers. One that is dedicated to being fussy cut. FYI! So I am going to go ahead and change up my layers just a little bit for this layout. So I am going to keep the vertical layer, and I have that stripy paper which kind of breaks up my pink background, and then I'm going to use, instead of just having one pattern that goes across, I'm going to have 3 patterns that go across. I'm going to ink some of my papers with Distress Oxide ink in Vintage Photo, but not all of them. This line has a mixture of kind of navy blues and grays, and then also these really warm browns and pinks. And so just the papers that are warm brown, that have that warm kind of tone to them, those I'm inking, but the stripy paper in the background I just left uninked, which is something I do quite a lot if I have a layout like this where the patterns, some of them are a bit warmer and some are a bit more gray or navy blue. I just don't put ink on those. This collection also has a little bit of the Honey and Spice collection from Heidi Swapp mixed in with it. And so I think that blotchy paper right there with the dark green is from the Heidi Swapp Honey and Spice. And I'm actually going to cover up all that dark green because that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted the pink tones, and then I wanted that little splash of yellow, because one of these photos is actually a screenshot of a text message that my sister and I shared, and there's like those little emoji laughing faces, and so I knew I needed to add just a little pop of yellow into this layout to kind of go with that bright yellow emoji face there. So I'm going to put each of these photos, I'm going to put the photos just like you see them now, and then I'm going to mat them. So I cut these mats while I had my big guillotine trimmer out. I cut these mats at 4x6, but when I adhere them down, I'm going to adhere them down and then crop them a little bit closer around the photo. I'm also going to use a quote as my title. I'm actually just pulling the quote right from the text message. And I'm going to use 2 different fonts. Overall, this layout is kind of like, for me, a meh layout. The story is told, and that's what's important. This was after having not scrapped anything for well over a week, so I'm still kind of getting my wits about me, getting my scrappy wits about me, right? But it's perfectly acceptable. I feel like I've been having a little bit of like scrapbooking brain freeze this week. Most of the things I've created, I haven't been loving. They've been fine, nothing wrong with them, but I haven't been loving them, which is, I'm not sure what's going on with that, if it's just me, maybe, I don't know. Generally, when I get to this type of a point in my scrapbooking where I'm kind of just not happy with most things I'm creating, generally that means it's time for me to go shopping. But I'm not going shopping because my husband's actually going back on furlough here in a couple weeks, and so shopping's not an option. But that's okay. It's all right. We're gonna get through it. But I have been watching more YouTube videos. Maybe that's helping. We'll see how the rest of the week and how my creating goes. So I'm just adding some super simple clusters. I have that really large flower with a little bit of a subtitle piece. I'm adding stickers here and there just to kind of fill out the clusters, make them work a little better. Definitely didn't stamp on this one mostly because I just didn't think of it, or I don't know. Just didn't stamp on this one. But the one that comes up later tonight at 7, that one I stamped on. And that one I actually kind of really like. So I can look forward to that. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to adhere all of these things down. And then the little label that's below the end of my title, I'm going to add a bit of journaling and the date stamp to that little label, and that's pretty much going to complete this layout. So really, really simple layout today. It didn't take me long to put together. I think the original recording time was like 30 minutes, which if you know me, that's like a huge record because I'm the slowest scrapbooker ever. And if you're checking out my hand there it is, the injury that caused all the problems. It looks like so minor and so like quiet on this video. Kind of makes me laugh because it's very deep and it caused all sorts of problems. In fact, it's still causing problems because the nerves are starting to heal now. And so I'm getting these like sharp shooting pains up into my fingers. But they said that will pass. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the edges of my layout. And here you can see how weird it photographed. I tried a bunch of different times to get a good photograph of this layout, but it wasn't happening. So I hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your day. I'll see you later tonight, and then we'll be all caught up on Shimelle sketches. Okay, bye.